soul family, lovers from other mothers, soul brothers, soul sisters, all the fun phrases. Welcome to I'm Woke. I'm your host, Emelina Calder. In today's video, I'm going to riff on the Lionsgate portal today. Happy Lionsgate portal, okay? 8/8/24 numerically goes down to the number 8. We have 888. Eights are infinity. I have the infinity sign tattooed on my wrist. Eights are the sign of abundance. Eights are the sign of ascension, because the way that the energy moves around the infinity is it's an infinite loop. It's an ascension loop. It keeps going. It can also show you your karmas, because everything in that loop comes back around to the center again to show you again who you are, what decisions you've made, who you've decided to become. Okay, y'all, so real quick, I forgot to mention, Emelina Calder. I'm a cosmic shaman, a psychic medium, a channel of the divine, of source, of all the fun entity types. I post on spiritual and personal development. If that's your vibe, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, say hello in a comment, and share this video with a friend. Hello, I adore you. Hello, my loves. Okay. If you haven't seen it yet, I have a Lionsgate portal ceremony and activation that you can get a hold of for the next day or two. The link is in the description below. Use the promo code PORTAL at checkout for 50% off. I just uploaded the first video transmission, and then we're doing a live stream together, an entire ceremony and workshop on Sunday. But the first transmission is amazing, and I wanted to get on here and tell you guys about it, and I'm going to riff into the Lionsgate kind of just ideas and things that are cosmically working through today, like the infinity sign. It's taking you back to yourself, back to your home, the infinity, all the time, coming back home. We go on a trip, on a loop, and then we come back home. Then we go on a trip and a loop, and then we come back home. So anyway, this transmission that I shot, if you're at all interested, I think you will be, you guys, just sign up. I'm going to increase this price after the portal gate as well, and create it into an entirely new program, because it is that powerful. It is that substantial. And I'm so floored that these guardians and guides have come to me to, I'm so humbled to transmit this material. So this activation is an Ascended Master's activation. It's an Ascended Master in training activation, because y'all ain't an Ascended Master yet. And in fact, most of you don't have access. They told me that nobody has access to this on Earth without them giving the access. So for you guys to know, the Sirians, humans carry Sirian starseed DNA. When the humans were created, there was an aspect of the DNA that was missing or needed in order to actually hold the soul in the human body. And that's where the Sirians came in and deposited. They gave a portion of their DNA to supply humans with the DNA that they needed in order to actually work as a soul in a human body and not just be like a vegetable primal animal on the planet. So we are all related to Sirian consciousness, which is why the Lionsgate portal is so powerful, because it is a Sirian portal. Sirius A, specifically the planet, is the sister to Earth. They're sister planets. And right now, what happens with the Lionsgate portal is it opens up a dialogue between the sister planets so that they can exchange DNA and codes. And Sirius A is in a dimension that's higher than Earth, okay? So Earth is 3D. I don't know specifically what Sirius A is. They're telling me 6D, because on Sirius, I've had a lot of mentors on Sirius where I would actually astral travel to Sirius A to meet them. On Sirius, there's a mix of physical, humanoids, I guess I would say, physical beings, as well as etheric beings. And they're all kind of like mixed together. So physicality and energy is both present. Does that make it 5D? I really feel like it's 60, but anyway, I don't know. I'm never like paying attention to the specific details. I'm really just giving the gist in general. So if it's 5D and not 60, don't shoot the messenger, all right? I'm just doing my job here. Where do I want to go with that? So the Lionsgate portal opens up the dialogue between human and Sirius. Now, the human DNA is constructed of many different starseed consciousness. So, I believe the Anunnaki are what actually like created the human, but there was DNA pulled in from many other forms, including Sirian. We are a hybrid rescue dog sort of species. All right. Which is really, really beautiful. So the point is, like, we got some Anunnaki DNA in there, we got some Sirian DNA, we got lots of things going on within the human DNA. Now, which DNA do you activate within yourself? Oh gosh, what is the term? You guys can correct me. It's been a minute since I've like read any material on this. Is it microgenetics? Microgenes? Does that sound right? Someone can let me know in the comments. It's where you might have a predisposition for certain behaviors and living life in a certain way. Scientifically, they could be like, scientists will explain this in the way of saying, like, you might have a predisposition for certain diseases, right? Now, it's not a permanent thing. Just because your ancestors all had diabetes doesn't mean you're going to have diabetes. It depends on what aspects of yourself within those microgenetics that you turn on and which you turn off based on your choices, based on your karma, which is your choices coming back into that infinity sign, circling back to your choices. What do you want to engage with? We have so many options as humans in our genetic DNA, as well as like the starseed DNA that feeds through the human body, because we actually carry starseed DNA at the human body. So which genetics are you going to turn on and which are you going to turn off through your choices and through your environment? Nature versus nurture. The environment brings out in you certain traits within you, but the key here is you can change your environment to bring out higher aspect traits that you prefer or that you want to grow into. The same with your choices. Your choices, your karma, is relatively automatic based on how the subconscious mind interprets choice. But then you can exercise your ability to make new choices to bring yourself in alignment with a lifestyle and a way of being that you have preference for. Both of these things require work or effort, where you are continually leading yourself into the life that you want to live, not based in what your automatic genetics would tell you. Anyway, the point is, the DNA has all of these different aspects of genetics available. Which ones step forward and are highlighted and manifested physically for you have everything to do with your choices and your environment. Both of those things you can control if you are an adult. That is just a reality. So you can control these things. You are not a slave to your genetics. You get to shift and manipulate in a good way, like manipulate as in play, like Play-Doh, like move it around into the shape and conformity that you desire to see, to express, to be in this world. All of that explanation is to say that the transmission that I provided in the Lionsgate portal activation, if you sign up, again, the link is below, is a Sirian Ascended Master Consciousness. They came to me as a transmission, and I transmit the DNA awakening to give you access to be able to consciously have in your awareness and your auric field the ability to see quickly and make new choices to highlight different aspects of your genetics that previously didn't exist. Essentially, it's an overlay, or we could say an interlay coming from the inside of you. I would call it an overlay, but it's not actually laying on top of your energy. It's actually transforming your energy alchemically, where instead of this transmission, instead of relying on the family genetics that you grew up in, like your bloodline. I'm so sorry, my notifications are going off. I know sometimes it splits the stream. Instead of falling into the bloodline DNA and the microgenetics in that DNA, what this transmission is a complete elevation where they step in as the ascended ancestors of humanity, because we carry Sirian DNA in our DNA structure. So what happens is, in this transmission, the Sirian ascended master, I'll call them a tribe, but they're a collective. It's a collective hive mind. They step in and recode and rewrite your entire energetic system in this energy work to rely on this Sirian ascended master in training, they say, template for your energy, so that your natural organic energy body, your natural DNA, your cosmic DNA, like you are relying on and feeling present with the cosmic ascended master DNA within yourself, because it's being pulled out and highlighted in this transmission, rather than falling to the 3D unconscious collective human program. This is a shift between the 3D and the 5D. In the video, they explain in every chakra point the differences between, the subtle differences between a 3D program. They split the program down. You can think about it like a computer program. The 3D program and the 5D program that they're installing in your energy fields. It's really magical. It's really, really beautiful. Like, I was not planning this video, and because I shot that last night, when I went through it, I got such an activation for myself. I was like, holy F, I have to shoot another video and tell people about this, because it's absolutely incredible. Again, I am going to make this into its own program, because I'm getting very, very excited with the activations that are coming through to me. I don't know what we're going to be getting in the ceremony on Sunday, but I mean, they already floored me yesterday, so I'm very excited. If I knew, I would tell you. But it has to do with stepping into becoming an ascended master in training. It has to do with stepping into an elevated status as a human on earth. It has to do with stepping into your pure and authentic leadership. These are things that they explain. They explain the subtle aspects of leadership within the video. What else do I want to say on this? It's so incredible. So alive. Is there anything else I want to say about the Ascended Master in training? I think that's all I want to say there. And I'll just circle back to any other Lionsgate themes. There's such a leadership component to this specific Lionsgate. And I'm just going to riff and talk. Like, I love the connection between Earth and Sirius. I hadn't really made that connection consciously. And it's so interesting too, because a lot of my mentorship, and for you guys to understand, like, yes, I have some human mentors, but traditionally, and I'm going back into like a schooling pattern for myself, I have cosmic mentors. I meet with them typically weekly at specific days and times in order to get transmissions and downloads, change my energy, adjust, and understand the work I'm here to do. It's very much like school for me. So anyway, one of my favorite mentors, I haven't connected with her in a while, is Sirian. And we had a telepathic bond, and these things are so cool. I'll riff fully on like my cosmic mentorship at some point. It's just a fun channel, because I've had the best effing mentors. Something I used to tell people like years ago is, it's like, they're like, oh, you're a psychic medium, you channel dead people. I'm like, not really. I'm like, actually what I do is I work with ascended masters in curriculum programs, like cosmically, through my meditation and channeling practice that otherwise like humans don't have access to. It's like, could you get in the room with a benevolent ascended master billionaire? And I put ascended master in quotes because I don't know that any of these billies are ascended masters. I don't think so. Just a thought. Don't judge me. It's like being able to get one-on-one time with the most powerful people on the planet that would give you the structure to your life that you would follow and then become extraordinarily successful. That's the mentorship I do, but I do it cosmically, where I'm the student, they are my mentors. I have many at all times. The Law of One has been mentoring me daily for the last year, and that's been a really incredible opportunity. Anyway, so a lot of these different guides approach me as well. I've had a lot of Egyptian guides come forward recently to approach to work with me, mentor me, which has been amazing. And I know that it has a lot to do as well with this Lionsgate portal. I've been getting, I'm not typically interested in ancient Egypt or anything, but we have a lot of past lives there as humans. And I've been getting so many downloads every single effing day on Egyptian practice, Egyptian gods and goddesses, which are really, are they Syrian? A lot of them are Syrian. A lot of them are Syrian. Holy F. Okay, also they're telling me, and anyway, there's this huge ancient Egyptian thread coming into the Lionsgate portal, and they're also telling me, they told me this last night, that the Lionsgate portal is like a homage, is that the right word? To the sun, okay, to the sun god. We could say to Ra, to the sun. It's whatever, it's the sun, okay? It's the sun's ability to nurture all life on Earth. It's like a thank you. It's like the Lionsgate portal is like an offering between Sirius and Earth, because these are two consciousnesses. They are feminine consciousnesses, okay? Sirius A is a feminine consciousness planet. Gaia is a feminine consciousness planet. They are sisters. Sirius A is the older sister. And they both thrive from the position of the sun in its providership for the nourishment that is perfect for Earth. So the Lionsgate portal is the portal time. My heart is lighting up so much. It is an offering to the honorable ancestors across the multiverse, across source. It's an honoring and an offering as a thank you for providing us with life. They're literally showing me, they're like, everyone thinks about the portal in so many different ways, but you could see the portal as if they're showing me the movie Coco, with the Mexican lineage where they have like the Day of the Dead and they've got the shrines with the ancestors, and then they place offerings out for the ancestors, right? As a thank you so that the ancestors can continually have a connection with them. That's what today is. The 8/8 portal is, among many other things, but the primary focus is an offering to the sun. Thank you, sun, for providing. It may as well be to source. It's an offering to source. The sun is the source of our nutrients in this solar system. I was gonna say galaxy, but I don't think that's true. In this solar system. So if you have time today to be in sacred reverence, a short ceremony, an offer of gratitude for the sun, for the consciousness of the sun. It's an alive consciousness. Whether you see it as like a god like Ra, or an ascended master team like Helios, or just the sun, or you interpret it as divine masculine consciousness, because that's what it is. Regardless of how you see it, can you honor it? Maybe step outside and get a little sunshine, a little glow on your skin today. Enjoy the glow and just say thank you for providing for me. There are different consciousnesses that provide for us. So Gaia is the feminine consciousness that we wouldn't have life without her, right? But also we wouldn't have life without the divine masculine consciousness of the sun. They're like really part and parcel, hand in hand. The Lionsgate portal is all about honoring integration. It is that integration. You know, without the earth, there are no humans. There's no life. Without the sun, there are no humans. There is no life. You can't have one without the other. For those of you questioning your light versus your shadow and tossing in between those two ideas constantly, because we're constantly doing shadow work, trying to heal it so that we can integrate, it's both. It's perfection. You need both. The shadow is the nutrients of the earthing of the death and transformation of all the aspects of yourself that give you the fertilizer in your consciousness, in your soil, to be able to root in and then create something beautiful. The shadow work that we do when we do shadow work is taking the decomposing rot in our consciousness, tilling it, moving it around, loving it up, understanding it, and allowing it to be the nutrient from which we grow. It doesn't make us who we are, the circumstances we've lived through and dealt with. What it does is it fertilizes our growth. The shooting up of the growth requires light. It requires sunlight. If you think about plants, right? The same thing for the human. Your light, so we were talking about the shadow below the surface. Your light is what allows you to grow from, we won't call it the ash because I don't think it's ash. It's from the soil. I think ash is one of the first stages of the death process. Like you burn it up and then it starts to become like a real nutrient base. I'll stream this in another video at some point. This is very interesting to me. It shoots up and creates the growth through light. That is what your light does. There's no one without the other. You can't just live in light. Love and light. Oh my God, love and light. There's no conflict. Just love and light. Oh, I'll bless you. Everything will be okay. Like it's okay. At some point, I'm going to make fun of all of the spiritual bypassing. That happens everywhere. I live in Los Angeles. There is a big spiritual community in Los Angeles, and they are like 99.9% spiritual bypassing. I won't join any of them. It's like, no judgment. It's just like, well, it makes me want to vomit. I can't handle it anymore. I just do my own thing here on YouTube, you know? But it's like, it's not from a place of bypassing. It's understanding the concept of no mud, no lotus from Thich Nhat Hanh. It's like you need the darkness. You have to be able to see through the dark, get familiar with the dark, transform your dark, be comfortable with your darkness. Don't be afraid of your darkness. Work with it, understand it. How do you sabotage yourself? How do you hurt other people? How do you manipulate others? This literally is in every person on this planet. There's no one so light that they're not manipulative, okay? Like, it's literally in the consciousness of your shadow. You can't get away from it. It is literally the program, all right? What we can do is become familiar with it, acclimate to it, have total, complete self-acceptance, and then change our behaviors consciously to choose away from those behaviors and replace them with new behaviors without shame, without guilt, without fear, without running to the light and ignoring the darkness. Because you're still manipulative. Even if you're harboring in the light and you're like, I'm all light, I'll ignore that. That manipulation just happens somewhere behind the scenes, and those people are still manipulating other people. You see this with a lot of like false gurus. I see it all over the place. At some point I'll talk about it. I might call some people out. We'll see. I don't know how saucy I'll get on my streams. I probably won't call it. Well, I'll call them out not by name. How's that? So they're just patterns. They're archetypal patterns of behavior. If we can call out the patterns, people that can see the patterns and then can navigate their lives a little more easily. Again, the infinity sign is coming back into my consciousness. It's like moving from, it's also temperance, moving from the shadow, coming home, back to, and then going into the light, coming home. Shadow, coming home, light, coming home. Cycles. Everything moves in cycles. Ascension is a cycle. It doesn't just stop. A pattern doesn't just stop. It shifts. It either ascends or descends, depending on which cycle you're running. I'm not going to get into detail in this video, but you are either in an ascension matrix complex within yourself or a descension matrix complex. There are light workers in both categories. I would say the descension ones are fake, but they look like true light workers because they're actually more narcissistic. They're so perfect with their external image that people trust that image. And the thing about narcissism is they have so much conviction about how they present themselves in their external image that even as psychics, sometimes it's hard to read between the lines to see that they're lying, because we're reading energy, and that energy comes through with a lot of conviction. So anyway, there's that descension process, and again, there are a lot of spiritual leaders in that, but they look very awakened, we'll say. Then there's the ascension process. When you're in the ascension process, you're running a loop, right? It is the infinity sign, but the way that it works is it's a spiral. So you go around your patterns of behavior, and you might think you're in a cycle, like, oh God, I'm repeating this pattern again and again and again. And it's like, yes, but each time you go on that loop, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit different. You gain a little bit more insight. You make a little bit better choices, right? And it's following it up. Anyway, that's the infinity sign. It's all about this balance. It's like shadow coming back home. It's always coming back home. The center of the infinity is home. Home to the soul. Working the shadow, coming back home. Working the light, coming back home. This becomes a very automatic process as an Ascended Master. Okay, so when I bring you through an Ascended Master training, in the Lionsgate Portal training, this is going to start seeding in your consciousness where you will automatically start to unconsciously work this process. This is the alchemical process. It gets easier with the light codes that I will deliver to you. Of course, your consciousness just listening to this video will start to connect those not those light codes, but different light codes together to allow this to be an easier process. But it's much more manual without the new template that I transmitted in the Lionsgate Portal ceremony activation. Okay, I want to go back to that. So shadow back home, light back home. They're showing me it's like learning how to dance. And if you're dancing with a partner, let's say it's ballroom dancing, there are moves for the feminine side of the partner. There are moves for the masculine side of the partners. And as you're learning, you're going to be screwing things up because you don't know exactly like what the exact moves are. And that's okay. That's what they're saying to me. This process, you understanding the infinity loop, is you understanding that you're learning how to dance with a partner. That partner are two aspects of yourself at all times. Shadow, light. Feminine consciousness, masculine consciousness. Karmic, matrix-based mental thinking. Divine mind. Human, divine, the body, the soul. Mental body, emotional body. The earth, the sun. There are so many things. And now they're telling me too, the moon, because I was like, wait, isn't the moon feminine consciousness? And it's like, it is, but the moon's actually a reflection to the earth. We'll call them twin flames for now. They're not really, but it's like a reflection. Like the earth needs the moon to reflect things back to it so that it could see itself more clearly on a 28 to 30 day cycle. That's really cool. But it's really this dance between the sun and the moon. So anyway, when you're learning how to dance with polarity, it's not easy at first. So the reason why this is coming through is because it's not going to feel easy. So when you start this work, or if you're in the middle of this work, you'll be like, you might try to retreat, go backwards to singular duality thinking rather than wholeness, which is total inclusion, total self-acceptance of these things. I'm working both of them through at the same time, through your cycles, through your process. because it's not going to feel easy. You're going to be stepping on people's toes. You might accidentally like elbow someone in the face, like, and then now they're crying and they have a nosebleed and you're looking like it's messy. It's just a messy process, okay? But they're saying as you trust this process through your life, as you do this spiritual work, it is a long-term game, you guys. This is like life marathon. You learn how to dance better and better and better and better. You elevate your moves. You learn what to anticipate what the other person's moves are going to be. Both sides of the equation elevate simultaneously with you until it becomes totally unconsciously competent. And then your subconscious is running the automatic computer program at your energetic system, and this affects all of your multidimensional realities, past lives, parallel lives, future lives. It really helps you ascend tremendously. When it becomes unconsciously competent, then it's an automatic program. That is the ascended mastery. It's to have this level of completion, at least at this moment. This is what I'm hearing. This completion of the duality as total integration and total complete acceptance in all ways at an unconsciously competent automatic level, so that your focus is no longer on how do I bridge the gap between ideas, how do I bridge the gap between energies, and the ascension. This is, the ascension, which is why this is ascended master level thinking, becomes, now that I'm whole, how do I want to carry myself forward? Who do I want to help change? Who do I want to uplift? How do I want to do that? What is the service? Because now I'm whole. So what is the offering and what is the service between me and the world? And instead of focusing on the duality within the self, because you are now whole, you focus on the alchemical process of the duality between yourself and the world. And it becomes you on one side of that loop, home to source, and then working through whatever collective you're working on. In this case, it's an earth-based collective. In other lifetimes, it'll be other collectives. And this is how the soul ascends. And then it comes back to the infinity. You coming home back to source, and then out into the collective. And it's this cycle. Ascended masters are working that cycle. If you receive any Ascended Master downloads, frequencies from Ascended Masters cosmically, that is the process that they are working. It is a leadership-based process, as opposed to the internal process, which we would call enlightenment. In a way, it's a form of Ascended Mastery, but it's like a level 1 out of a level 10 or 11. Okay, so when we focus on our own work, it's totally necessary, and you can't get to the next level without mastering this level. But this level is what we would call enlightenment. Enlightenment is the infinity sign within the self, working the shadow, coming back to the home in the center of the self with the soul, and then working the light, coming back to the home in the center of the self with the soul, until your energy is the total combination and there is no longer any separation between your shadow and your light. It is all in your conscious awareness. You're conscious of it and moving from that place of consciousness. Then when that is complete, we move into worldly, bridging the gap of service, bridging the gap of now that I'm whole, you become the light. I'm the light, back home to source, and then working with the shadow of the world, coming back to source and working that process. There is another ascension process past that, but I don't think I'm going to channel it in now because it's a little much for my little human brain to manage at this moment. I'm going to have to chew on that. But there's several levels above that. Okay, great. That's where I'm going to leave that. Happy Lionsgate portal. Oh my gosh, what a Lionsgate download. I just want to do things, you guys. Maybe I'll host some dance parties in LA, sober. That's my catch. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna quickly look through your comments. Happy Lionsgate portal, you guys. Happy. It's like the birthday of the sun. That's what I'm hearing. Like, it's like, happy birthday, sun. We love you. Okay. Live chat. Okay, let's take a spin. Hello. Oh my gosh, you guys are precious. Okay, saw them. Happy Lionsgate. Enjoy. Lots of love. If you feel guided and want to step into your Ascended Master in Training status and work the process that I just described through this infinity work, roar, I saw that comment, then go ahead and click the link below, use the code at checkout to get a little discount, and join me. When you sign up, you're going to get instant access to the transmission video that I've been talking about in this video. And you will get access to a live ceremony on Sunday the 11th at 11 PST. 11:11. All right, if you got questions, email me, drop some comments. Lots of love to you guys. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. You're not going to want to miss this. Just sign up. I'm going to be charging so much more in a freaking hot second for it too. So always trust your guidance. Trust yourself. You'll know whether or not it's for you or not based on whether or not you're inspired. And you can tune into your heart, especially today on the 8/8 portal, and say, is this right for me? Do I feel like this is right for me? Is this my path? Does this feel good? Do I want this? And if it's a yes, jump and sign up. It's easy. That's what I got. Alrighty. Lots of love, you guys. Peace. Have an amazing day. Happy 8/8 portal. Those of you that have already jumped in to that workshop, enjoy the video. It's magic. Okay, peace.